Do you miss the excitement of sitting down to play a TTRPG? Do you miss the first time in combat when you got critically hit and you freaked out? These experiences may seem like a thing of the past for many of us, right? I remember the first time I got critically hit in D&D, and God, it was terrible, right? We often say you don't remember the bad things that happened to you, you just remember the good things. I don't think that's true. I remember the terror the first time I got critically hit. I remember the terror the first time one of my party members got turned to stone. I was in 4th grade, and I had gotten my first +1 magic mace. And for reasons I can't explain to you, it was in the backpack of my party member. And we ran into a Medusa, and he got turned to stone. And my +1 magic mace still sits in that backpack this day. Gone, lost forever. But I remember that because it was terrifying. I remember that because it was scary. I remember that because there was loss. And it was dramatic and it was exciting. And we don't get that a lot anymore. Some new players do. They'll sit down at a table and the game master will critically hit them and they freak out. They lose 20 hit points, and they're sitting at 5 and they're like, I'm almost dead. I have to run. And veteran players will often kind of roll their eyes, or maybe they'll be nicer and say, no, you'll be fine. And this person's like, I have 5 hit points. I can't heal myself. What are you talking about? Well, D&D tells us a lie that we all agree to, and that lie is when you run out of hit points, you die. What do I mean by that? Well, you're fighting a goblin. It's got 12 hit points. You hit it for 12 points of damage. It's dead. If you have 12 hit points and you get hit for 12 points of damage, you're not dead. Now, part of that is because you're trying to tell an ongoing story. You're trying to have a game system where you get to play the same characters every week, and you ask your players, invest in these characters. And that's a little hard to do if you're unaliving them all the time. But we can do better, right? We can make it so that when someone gets hurt, they feel like, I had better run. Or the party members think, we had better run. We had better do something to save that person. Not just, well, they'll get knocked down and we'll save them then. Now, this may sound like I'm beating up on D&D, but I'm really not. Dungeons & Dragons is a fun game. And if you want to play kind of knucklehead slapstick games in which you're not really scared about stuff, do it, right? Critical Role has built an industry off of it. And that's not a slam of Critical Role. It really isn't. I have watched all of season 1. I loved it. There are times though it drove me crazy. It drove me crazy when when players just didn't take the game seriously and they just did silly, stupid stuff in combat. And you could see everyone else at the table, including Matt, going, come on, you're kind of killing this for me a little bit. So what I'm saying is games can have weight to them. Games can be scary. And that's not bad. That keeps people engaged and having fun. So how would we change this? Well, let's say you're playing your D&D game and someone gets hit, knocked down to 0 health. Normally it's not a big deal, right? They have to wait for their turn and make a death saving throw. And let's say you fail your death saving throw. Comes back to your turn again, you fail your death saving throw again. That can be the span of an hour, right? It can be 20 minutes between turns, half an hour between turns. Even a table that's moving well, depending on when you get knocked down to 0, you can spend an hour just making death saves. And then 20 more minutes for that final 3rd save. Surely someone has a healing word left. And most of the party isn't doing anything differently, having watched their friend get knocked down, right? And this is because They don't have to, right? Why would they? Why would you stop doing the thing that you were effective at to save someone on the ground? Now, you might say, well, that's not good role-playing. And I totally agree. It's not. It's terrible role-playing. But when the stakes are pretty high, that's what you do, right? I mean, I've waited 20 minutes to take my turn. I don't really feel like giving it up to help you. That's not how everyone plays. But it is a state that develops in the game because there is no tension. So I think death spirals are good. I think they make the game better. I think that players being afraid when their friends get knocked to zero should matter. And I talk about it a lot on this channel. If you agree and you want to see more stuff like that, click like, follow us, subscribe, whatever we call it, whichever social media platform I've put this thing on. My goal fundamentally is to grow the YouTube channel. That's the place I feel most at home. Not that I dislike TikTok or Instagram. It's just not my home. Anyways, we also have Discord links down below if you want to talk to us more about this stuff. I hope your games are a blast. I hope that you hack every game you play. If you ever play Invictus, I hope you hack it too. Thanks a lot. Goodbye for now.